welcome all of our Cache Valley listeners as well. You're listening on 107.7 KLZX. Welcome to the Fan Sports Network, KSL Sports. Welcome, and we look to have another gem for you for this game. The previous game was a Fan Sports Network instant classic, 2-run home run walk-off by Ryder Harrison of the Snow Canyon Warriors.
Well, we want to welcome you in again to our Boulevard Home Game of the Week. Boulevard Home, they've been making your house a home for over 48 years. All right, Mark, before this game fully gets underway, quick Findlay Subaru pregame keys to the game. What are your keys to the game today for the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs?
You know what? It's going to be good pitching. Who's on the mound tonight? Is it Javen?
They have Javis Osborne.
This is for
for Crimson.
That's who's pitching.
Yeah.
Okay. They're shaking things up a little bit. Coach Abbott is. I kind of thought it would be one of the big lefties, either Javen Ross or Bo Sampson, but they're shaking it up a little bit. Maybe playing for those games later on in the week, having their aces rested and ready to go. You know what? It's going to come down to pitching. It always does in these games. Going to come down to pitching. Limit the walks. There's nothing worse as a coach, as a fan, as a father, than free passes. Make them earn it. If they hit a line shot and they get a single off of you, you tip your hat to them and you go to the next hitter. But as far as free passes, they want to cut down that. Crimson Cliffs has a great defense behind the pitcher. Pitch to contact.
Absolutely.
Pitch to contact. Let them put the ball into play. Let your defense take care of things. And, just throw the ball across the diamond over to Big Brexton Stardy playing first base tonight for the Mustangs. And for Green Canyon, I think the keys to the game there is get to these Mustangs early. Put some runs on the board where maybe they have to go to one of their aces to come in and relieve. But you want to get to them early. You want to put some runs on the board. You're the top half of the inning. A great case scenario for Green Canyon would be jump on them 3-0.
Sure. Yeah. That's exactly right. Hop into the scoring column quick if you can. Get some hits, get some runs, and move in. Now, a little bit of our pitching matchup here. So, as we mentioned before, Crimson Cliffs, they're pitching Jarvis Osborne, who right now is a young pitcher. He hasn't pitched much. It's only 6.1 innings total throughout this season. So they're saying, hey, you know what? We trust our team. We trust our teammates. Get out there and have a little bit of fun. It's game one. Now, I would also expect that, hey, if this does go downhill for the young pitcher, that they would probably be okay pulling him a little early. So we'll see how long he lasts, and I hope for the best for this young pitcher.
This is a big moment for a kid that has only pitched 6.1 innings. This is a big moment. This isn't just starting a game against Hurricane. I mean, this is a big stage here at Larry H. Miller Field, Cougar baseball field. You got a field, a crowd full. Well, not quite full, but a lot of crowd in the stands, and we'll see how the lefty deals with all of that. Man, how many lefties does Crimson have over there?
They got a million of them, I swear.
Only 13% of the world is left-handed, and I think 10% of them are at Crimson Cliffs.
That very well could be. It very well could be. Pitching for Green Canyon for the Wolves is Cade Atkinson. Now, this is their ace. This is one of their guys that they pitch quite often. We said Jarvis is pitching 6 innings total. Well, Caden Atkinson's pitched 30. So, he's definitely a lot more comfortable. 30 strikeouts this season with an ERA of 4.62. So, again, this is a pitcher that's comfortable on the mound.
Yeah, and who am I to question Coach Abbott? I mean, he is the reigning champion for 4A baseball, but every manager or head coach has a philosophy when you get into tournament play. My philosophy is, pitch your normal starters, your normal rotation. I don't like to pitch for Wednesday when it's Monday. I like to pitch Monday for Monday. Win that game, go to Tuesday. Win that game with one of your aces, go to Wednesday. But hey, again, who am I to question? I don't have any rings on my finger.
First up to bat here for the Wolves, Caden Stewart. He is playing first base over there for the Wolves. First pitch comes across, ball one. Hit over to second base, fielded, and routine throw over to Starley at first base for out number one.
Yeah, just a routine ground ball over to second base, and easy play for Crimson over there.
Right fielder, number 37.
That brings up Quincy Matthews, right fielder for the Wolves. A righty. The Wolves wearing the black jerseys with the white pinstripes. Popped up. Looks like third base has a look at it and does for out number two.
Yeah, Tate Maynard just camped under that one. He could have made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, ate it, and then caught the ball. That ball was up there a long ways.
Brings up Cade Atkinson. Again, pitcher for the Wolves today. Another righty stepping into the box here. Got him looking for strike number one. And here's the next. Sent into center field, going back on it and making the grab for out number three is Tyler West. 3 up, 3 down on only about 5 pitches.
Yeah, it was 5 pitches. That is pitch efficiency right there, Caden.
You gotta love it.
At its best.
You gotta love it. With that, 3 outs. We head to the bottom of the first inning when we come back here on the Fan Sports Network and KSL.com.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
We'll go back here to Larry H. Miller Field, where the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs about to get started here. The leadoff batter, Jager Baldwin, right fielder, will be stepping up to the plate here in just a little bit. Our lineups brought to you by House of Jump. Again, Jager Baldwin leading off. Tyler West up second, out in center field. P.D. Soto at shortstop. Ty Maynard, catcher. Brex Starley on first base. Trey Evans, DH. Still Barbin on second. Tate Maynard on third base. Fehi Faunalua out in left field, and then pitching again is Jarvis Osborne.
Yeah, and you know, with Crimson, they got one of their best hitters, their center fielder back. Jager Baldwin, obviously a very good outfielder as well, but with the coming back from injury, Tyler West, now Jager moves to right field. So now you got like 2 center fielders out there, which is just a luxury to have. But Tyler West, his bat.
Well, Trey Evans.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was talking about Trey Evans. I got those two mixed up. I apologize.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, thank you.
I got you. I saved you.
But Trey Evans, DH for the Mustangs, back in the lineup. That's like getting Mike Trout back.
Yeah, it really is. He's a power hitter.
Yep.
And he's been out really all season long.
Yes.
So, yeah, he's going to be batting 6th in the lineup today. But again, stepping up to the plate right now is Jager Baldwin.
One of my favorite players, Caden. I've told you that for quite some time now. For many years, Jager has been one of my favorite players. Coached him in youth baseball, little league, travel ball.
Here's the pitch. Caught the first one, off-speed pitch for strike one.
And, you know, that's a good take by Jager as well, and a good first strike. as well because, as a hitter, you're hunting fastballs on that first one.
Little high, ball one.
2 breaking balls to start off Baldwin.
Yeah, Jager's being patient. Jager commit to Salt Lake Community College.
He'll be playing close by here. Just up the road a little bit further.
Another pitch, a little high, ball 2.
I think he has thrown him 3 straight off speeds. I don't think we've seen the fastball yet.
I don't think we have either.
There's one.
There it is, off the end of the catcher's glove.
Maybe it crossed up a little bit. I wonder if the catcher was expecting the 4th straight off speed. Wonder if they were crossed up a little bit because that was certainly catchable.
But yeah, I think he's waiting for it to break, and it never broke. Here's a 3-1. Another one inside. That's ball 4, and Baldwin finds himself on first base.
Jager hustles down there to first base.
The center fielder, number 24.
Brings up Tyler West out in center field. Lefty, as you mentioned, a lot of lefties for Crimson, and that goes for both the pitching staff and these guys as they get into the batter's box. A lot of them stepping into that left-handed batter's box.
Well, a lot of them are, some of them are also, throw right, bat left. I don't consider them true lefties.
You don't think so?
I'm just, well, they are.
They have a little bit of the gene in them, huh?
Yeah.
Look over that runner at first and send him right back.
Wes is a really good hitter, though. Love his shoes, too. He's got the classic Air Jordan cleats. Just the red and black ones. Those are the ones that I had in 1984. Not those exact same ones, but it was a different pair, but they look just like them.
Look the same? Did you watch the movie Air yet?
Not yet. I really need to.
Swing and a miss. And that'll lead out the count of 1.
Kind of moving a little bit. He was kind of dancing in that batter's box a little bit, like he was trying to do a slap hit. Almost like a softball player. Kind of like Ichiro Suzuki used to do as well. Slap hitting.
Swung on, miss. Runner stills for second. And he's there safely.
Yeah, Baldwin got a great jump on that.
That pitch came across as a strike, swinging at it, and now that advances runner to second. So here we go. 1-2 count here in the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless.
Mustangs already looking to strike with Baldwin in scoring position. No outs. Good hitters coming up.
And again, a breeze heading straight out into center field. This one hit left field. Play is made. Runner thinks about tagging up. Instead runs back to second. So,
yeah, I mean, it was in the between a line shot and a pop fly, but left fielder had plenty of time to get underneath it and then make a good throw to third to keep Baldwin at second. Yeah, Stewart out there in left for Green Canyon.
Brings up Petey Soto Jr., shortstop for the Mustangs.
Boy, he's had a great season.
He's amazing. He's been batting around 500.
Yeah, he is a Utah Tech Trailblazer signee. Going to go stay right there in St. George and play for the hometown university.
Here's the pitch. So that off speed gets across the zone for first strike.
Atkinson's off speed looks really, really above average.
It doesn't have a lot of velocity, but it has a ton of movement. And there he goes again on it. Runner tries to steal and got him.
Yep, he got him. And Jager's shaking up a little bit too. Oh, now he's getting up. I think he hurt his shoulder. Yeah, his left arm. Great throw by Proctor behind the dish for the Wolves.
Let's see if we can grab a replay on that slide over by Baldwin. Here's our
SNS Mechanical replay.
Oh, he just hit the base weird. Yeah. Pitch came in that break as a ball, so now count to 2-2.
So that clears the bases. Gets Atkinson out of a little bit of trouble.
Here's the 2-2. Fouled away. Foul ball brought to you by Cache Valley Bank. Your financial outfitter, Cache Valley Bank, mountains await.
Yeah, what turned out to be a half inning that the Mustangs might strike first. Boy, that caught stealing down at third. Proctor throwing Baldwin out.
Off the end of the bat, right to second base, and caught for out number 3. So that will take us out of the first inning. Still scoreless here at Larry H. Miller Field at BYU. Top of the second inning when we come back here on the Fan Sports Network and KSL Sports.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bryant Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. To Jersey Mike's.
Bryant.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Today's action brought to you by UD & Associates, your local American Family Insurance Agency in St. George. Give them a call. They can set you up with the best American Family Insurance.
Well, with Baldwin trying to steal third, got thrown out. That kind of put that threat as that's all it was. They just kind of threatened in the bottom of the first. And Jaeger is back out in right field, so, you know, he got a little stinger on that slide at third, but he's out there ready to go. So here we go to the top of the second.
Coleman Bob, third base for Green Canyon, stepping up to the plate. Watches the first one go by for ball 1.
Coleman Bob, a multi-sport player, because we remember him from football, don't we?
Yeah, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Pops this one up. It'll go foul and out of play.
Boy, he's a strong kid. You can just tell by looking at him from up here in the press box.
Please return all foul balls to the nearest dugout.
The umpire giving him some sort of talking to.
He's got
to change his helmet around, I guess.
Bad helmet.
All right, different helmet.
Okay.
Switch it out. Here we go.
Hopefully that wasn't his Mojo helmet.
Hopefully not. Wonder if it had a crack in it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That was strange.
All right, 1-1. Here's the pitch. Sent into center, going back on it. Not able to get there. It drops in, bounces off the wall. Bob stands up on second.
Coleman Bob with a shot. Tyler West could not catch up to it. It landed right on the warning track, hit the BYU logo out there just right of center field. Big time hit. That could be a bin blaster blast of the game nominee right there.
Absolutely, it could be. I don't know if we'll see any hits go as far as that one did.
Wow.
But the game is still young.
He hit that about 397 feet.
Yeah, if he sent that left or right field, that's a home run. Carson Proctor now up to bat. Looks at the first one.
The
first strike.
Fan Sports Network. Kate.
Looks like we wanted to do a little station identification there. Yes, we are the Fan Sports Network.
Yeah. Our home studio.
Now the Wolves threatening here a little bit. No outs, runner on second.
And the pitch. Outside. Catcher tried to frame it up a little bit. Wasn't quite there. Carson Proctor now facing a count of 1-1.
Carson Proctor made a big play in the bottom of the first by throwing out Jaker Baldwin to third, trying to steal. Kind of put an end to that threat that the Mustangs were doing.
Pitch. Good breaking ball by the young Mustang up there. And this is Jarvis Osborne on the mound for the Mustangs. And now Carson Proctor facing 1-2.
Big moment for the young lefty.
Swung on, right over Petey Soto's head. That's going to bring Bob around third. A little bit of a fumble out there in left field, and the Wolves get on the board first. It's an RBI single for Carson Proctor.
Yeah, a little bit of a juggle out there in left field. I kind of thought if he picks that cleanly and throws to home, there could have been a play at the plate. But after he bobbled it, Coleman Bob scores easily.
Brings up Suey Jensen, shortstop for the Wolves.
Still nobody out here in the top of the second. Wolves strike first up here at Larry H. Miller Field.
And the pitch, looking to bunt, and it's fouled away.
Jensen looks like a big, strong kid, too. Got some big, thick shoulders.
Check the runner over at first, and he's back safely. So it's a 1-0 ball game here with the Wolves on top. Suey Jensen steps back up to the plate. Here's the pitch. Again, looking to bunt, and just nicked off the bat and down for strike number 2.
Well, that takes the bunt out of the equation. Now the corners should back up a little bit. Tate Maynard down there at third, probably play even with the bag, maybe even a step behind it. Starley down at first. He's going to hold the runner on. Middle infielders at double play depth, and outfielders straight away.
Again, looking at the runner over on first.
That's the way your Mustang defense is all set up.
So it's an 0-2 count to Suey Jensen. Pitch. Sent into center. And there to make the play is Tyler West.
Yeah, easy catch there. Can of corn there for Tyler West.
And out number 1 in the second inning for the Mustangs. Brings up Cooper Finley.
Number 21, Cooper Finley.
Batting designated hitter today. Here's the pitch. Outside, it'll be ball 1. Getting runner on first. 1 out here in the top of the second.
Big lefty pitching out of the stretch.
And he taking his time on the mound, and Cooper Finley says, it's too much time for me. I'm taking a time out here. I'm not going to stand around and wait all day.
Not going to be a statue up there.
Part of the reason why at the MLB level they implemented the pitch clock. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. We're getting to that time of day where the batter's box is in the shadow, yet the rest of the field is in play in the sunlight. Again, looking over at first base.
And that's advantage pitcher when that ball goes from the sun to the shade. Definitely advantage to the pitcher. That'll be something that the hitters are definitely going to have to fight through.
Especially in about 30 minutes from now once it extends a little more. As this one's hit over to second. They're looking to turn the double play. Out number 1 and out number 2. Double play will wrap up the top of the second inning for the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs.
Yeah, but you know what? The Wolves strike first. They put a run on the board, and now the Mustangs are chasing.
And they are indeed. All right, that will send us now to the bottom of the second inning here on the Fan Sports Network and KSL Sports.
(656-0511).
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
Welcome back to BYU Larry H. Miller Field here in Provo, Utah. Today's Mountain Sports Performance. It's time for summer training. Spots are filling up fast, so get locked in for some off-season training in Mountain Sports Performance locations from Logan to St. George. You can call for training options right now, 435-251-2299. Ty Maynard going to be stepping up to the plate.
Leading off for Crimson Cliffs, the catcher, number 28, Ty Maynard.
Ty Maynard, both Maynard twins. There's twins here. It's got Ty, and we'll see Tate here in just a little bit. But when it comes to hitting, they both got really quick hands.
First pitch, right down the pipe, strike one. Second pitch sent into center field and caught for out number 1.
Yeah, he lined that one a little bit. I guess the only advice I would have for Ty right there is maybe just change the direction a little bit. Big Brexton starting now, stepping in for the Mustangs.
That's Jake and Peterson out in center field making the play. Starley playing first, usually one of these guys that steps behind the plate as catcher and takes strike number 1.
Yeah, one of the best catchers in 4A, maybe even all of state of Utah. He's going to go play at the next level up at CSI.
Check swing and went for strike 2. Pitches high to Starley.
I mean, Starley's batting .439 as a hitter.
Here's the 1-2. Full-on swing for strike 3 and out number 2.
Atkinson gets the best of him that time.
Brings up Trey Evans, as we mentioned, had been injured through the majority of this season, has finally been back just the last few games. Crimson Cliffs excited to have him here for this postseason play.
Yeah, he's a special hitter. He really is. I don't put the word special in front of many players, and what they do, but he really is a special hitter.
Ball number 2. For those listening on radio, we appreciate you listening on the Fan Sports Network and on 107.7 KLZX in Cache Valley. And just as a reminder that we are streaming this game in tandem with KSL Sports. You can go to KSLSports.com or thefansportsnetwork.com to get this live stream game where you can watch it. And now Brex Starley facing a 3-0 count. 2 outs on the board. Or excuse me, Trey Evans. And ball 4. 4-pitch walk.
Now you got Steele Barbin coming up, and he's only hitting 500, Caden.
Only 500.
Only 500. This is a really good hitting team for the Mustangs.
You know, and Steele Barbin hasn't seen the batting lineup all that often. Usually he's a pinch runner, speed up runner. But when he does get up, he makes the plays happen.
Absolutely. I don't care how big the sample size is. Anytime you're batting 500, you'll get a tip of my cap for sure. He's played 15 games this year.
Yeah, he's had a decent enough sample size.
He's had 16 at-bats, and, I mean, my goodness.
8 of 16?
You get 8 hits on 16 at-bats, again, that's legit to me, man.
Absolutely. Quick 1-1 here to Steele Barbin. Two outs. Runner on first. Scores 1-0 on the Wilkinson's House Lighting scoreboard. The Wolves in the lead as Barbin sends this one high and foul. Bounces off the bleachers, and that'll be now a 1-2 count. Pop fly into right. And there to make the grab.
Easy catch for the Green Canyon Wolves. I got Vegas on my mind, I guess.
I guess so. Well, that'll wrap up the second inning. On to the top of the third we go, where the score 1-0, Green Canyon on top.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back here. It's top of the third inning. Crimson Cliffs and Green Canyon facing off. Green Canyon currently leading 1-0.
Hey, and Caden, I want to congratulate your hometown, the Enterprise Lady Wolves, on their state championship softball. So congratulations to Enterprise.
Yeah, my hometown got the win, and the other day, one of the traditions at Enterprise is that the winning team of the state championships ride around town on the fire truck.
Yeah.
And anyways, we had a thunderstorm going on at the same time they were riding around on the fire truck. It rolled in right when they were leaving.
Wow.
And someone got a great picture of the girls on a fire truck with a lightning strike in the background. It is beautiful.
Oh,
it's
my gosh, that is so cool.
But we do want to congratulate them on their state championship win, and the Kanab Cowboys baseball team.
That's right.
Also another Southern Utah team in 2A that won state as well. So congratulations to both of those programs.
Absolutely. Something that these two teams are chasing for.
Hit right back to the pitcher. Fielded it short. Throw is there. Petey Soto makes the play.
Yeah, Petey Soto Jr. moving towards the bag. makes that play just look so smooth and so easy, and that was not an easy play.
No, and that was Micah Aborn for Green Canyon that was up. Now Jakin Peterson, center fielder, stepping up to the plate.
He's hitting .250 on the year so far for the Wolves.
That went off the end of the bat and fouled away.
Again, Crimson up top right now, 1-0 over the defending state champs. We're early in this ball game, top of the third.
And the pitch off the end of the bat into the 5-6 gap, rolls into left field. Jakin Peterson finds himself on first with a single.
Now Stewart, lefty, stepping in for the Wolves.
Yep, Caden Stewart back to the top of the lineup here. Last at bat, sent it right on over to second base. Where's fielded for the first out of the ball game. First pitch from Osborne in there for strike one.
Wolves looking to put another one on the board here, try to separate themselves just even a little bit more. Only up 1-0, and that's against these Mustangs. That's one swing at the bat.
Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in there, strike two.
That's a tough hitter's call, but as a pitcher, you love that call. That was almost an unhittable pitch. Low and outside to the left-handed hitter.
And swinging nasty. Away from you, too. It's constantly moving away from you. That's a tough pitch.
Absolutely.
Looks over to first.
Oh, got him leaning.
Got him.
Got him leaning. Wow. And again, both teams kind of cleaning up their own mess a little bit. Clearing the bases off with either a pickoff move or earlier in the game in the first inning.
You got to be happy as well. If you're Osborne, you're a guy that doesn't get a lot of reps, right?
Yeah.
So making that play at first, it's a tough play to make. So you like to see that right now, especially if you're the coaches. Mm-hmm. That's who's really happy about that play.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you can clear the bases off and get those runners off the base paths. And now Osborne can just pitch now. They're not stress pitches.
Right. That's ball one. 1-2 is now the count. 2 outs, nobody on. We're looking for a Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game, and sometimes those pickoffs, that might be there. We also have to talk about, is this one sent right back to the pitcher, and he's going to toss it over to first for out number 3. But as well, there's that throwdown with Jigger Baldwin over to third.
Right.
So, I mean, there's been a few good defensive plays today. That will send us now to the bottom of the third inning. The score still remains 1-0 Green Canyon on top here on the Fan Sports Network.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Welcome back here to our 4A state championships. It's the first round of play. Game 3 today on this Monday of play. We've already had 2 games so far. Snow Canyon, they won in a walk-off, a 2-run shot by Ryder Harrison. And in game number 1, We saw a great matchup between Mountain Crest and Desert Hills, where Mountain Crest, just one solid swing of the bat, a triple that cleared a fully loaded base, is really what put them out, on top and out of reach of Desert Hills. They move on as well. So Snow Canyon and Mountain Crest will face each other in the next round, and in the winner side of the bracket, and Bear River and Desert Hills will face off on the loser side of the bracket.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Stepping up to the plate, Tate Maynard. He sends one into center field on a pop fly, and it's brought in for out number 1.
Boy, I absolutely love seeing those pop flies up against the mountains here in Provo.
It makes it so much easier to see.
It is so gorgeous, though.
Yeah, it's great.
Just, my goodness, I am still blown away at the backdrop here at Larry H. Miller Field on the campus of BYU. It is just gorgeous.
Just pitch right back to the pitcher off the end of the glove. It's fielded at second, thrown to first. That's out number 2.
Wow, what a great play by the second baseman. I hope I say his name right, Eborn. But
that's
yeah,
I'd say, yeah,
what a way to stay with it, because the pitcher Atkinson deflected it, so he had to stop on a dime and then come back, and he still had time to make the play. Nice play.
Jager Baldwin takes strike 1.
Back to the top of the order for the Mustangs now.
Baldwin walked his last at bat and was thrown out trying to steal third.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch. Looking to bunt, pulls back on it, and it's ball 1.
Well, you can see the rotation of the defense right when Jager showed bunt. First base charge, second baseman was going to first base to cover, and shortstop was going to second base. You could just see it happen.
Swung on and missed for strike 2. That's a well-trained defense.
That's cool. That was way cool to watch from up here.
Here's the 1-2. Ooh, hit.
No, I think it got
the end of the bat.
Yeah, it got the end of the bat. Now, if I'm Jager, I just throw the bat down and I start going down to first base. I make that umpire bring me back. I kind of say, hey, it hit my hand, and he might call you out, but I
even
at
if
least
it hits
try
his
to,
hands, usually
especially
the hand
with
is
the
part of
1-2
the
count.
bat.
Yeah.
He rips one through the gap, rolls into left field. Baldwin on with a single.
Jager is holding that left arm, though, just as still as can be.
Yeah, he's not 100% out there.
No, he's not.
They're going to send in a runner, I believe. Coach is over there with him, and they're looking to the dugout. It looks like a runner might be coming out to take his place.
But a nice shot in the 5-6 hole over there, and he's able to get on
maybe not.
The base pass.
They might leave him there. Yeah, he's
still there.
He's still holding that left arm a little gingerly out there. And they'll check him at first. He's back up, but again, not using that left arm much. Not a lot of motion.
Now, if I'm Green River and I notice what's going on over there, I go over there probably 3 or 4 more times just to make him work a little bit harder on that left shoulder.
Try the back pick, and he's back. It's a 1-0 count here to Tyler West. Here's the pitch. Not there. Ball 2.
Baldwin still down there trying to loosen up that left shoulder. He was down there doing rotations with it.
This one's popped up left center. Left field's coming in on it and makes the grab. That's out number 3. That'll retire the side, and we will head to the top of the 4th inning when we come back here on the Fan Sports Network.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bride Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
for the dealer nearest you. Visit Bryant.com.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you could still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's.
And 1-252-6390 Equal Opportunity Lender.
Welcome back here to Larry H. Miller Field. Just about reaching 6:30 here, where Green Canyon getting ready to step up to the plate and try to add to that 1-0 lead that they hold.
Looks like Dixie just got here for their next game. They're over there in the stands above the Crimson Cliffs dugout.
You know, they actually got here quite early and watched some of the last game, and then they must have stepped away for a team dinner, and now they're back. First pitch gets across the plate for strike one.
Again, that's one of those pitcher's pitches right there. Almost unhittable. And if you do, it's just going to be a little dribbler down to first base.
Breaking ball, strike two.
Another nice pitch. Staying on the outside part of the plate.
Now with that 0-2 count, Osborne has a little wiggle room here.
Nothing down the middle. This won't be a strike.
Got him swinging. Ball away from the catcher. He'll make the throw down to first. And they'll pick up the strikeout.
And when I said it won't be a strike, it won't be in the zone. That's what I meant to say.
He got caught swinging for the strike.
Yes.
He got caught swinging for the strike in out number one.
For sure.
First strikeout here in the fourth inning for Osborne. Cade Atkinson.
And now Atkinson, the old you can help yourself out here as the pitcher.
First one comes across for ball number one.
Atkinson 0-1 for the day. 0 for 1.
Now this one well hit. It's going to find its way down, and it'll be
1 for 2 now.
Big single.
Yeah, that was a nice line shot right over second baseman's glove for the Wolves.
Brings up Coleman Bob here, third base for the Wolves. He got the first hit of the game, the first score of the game.
And again, that's just Atkinson. That's just a pitcher helping himself out, getting him out on the base paths, making Osborne throw those stress pitches. And we saw what Coleman Bob did last time.
That's right. Timeout taken.
He hit it right to the bottom of the BYU logo out there in right center field. What did we say it was? About 397 feet?
It had to be pretty close. Swung on and missed for strike one.
It's 402 straightaway center, 343 down the right field porch, and 347 down the left field side. 388 right center, 380 left center.
Ooh, and swung on, missed for strike two.
Nice off-speed pitch there by Osborne to get Bob just flailing at that one.
The 0-2 over to first instead. He's back safely.
It's got a good move over there to first base.
Yeah, that play was already made once where they got the out on the throw over to first. Tough part is being able to do it without inciting a balk, right? You don't ever want to do that. As that one bounced off the ground and then hits the bat.
Wait, was that?
Both runners going. It's a double play. They have to throw it over to second and put on the tag.
I don't know.
Out number two. That was the most interesting thing to ever happen. So Bob takes a swing at it. It bounced off the ground first. It hits the bat. They throw over to first for the out, but the base runner who was already standing on first started to go to second and then ran back.
Here's the replay.
It's so strange. This is one of those you have to see.
Wait,
he takes off.
Wait a minute. Did he hit it off the bounce?
He hit it off the bounce, and then it was caught.
But I don't think it bounced after he hit it. I think he hit that on the bounce.
No, it bounced, and then he hit it. It popped up. The pitcher caught it, so he should have been out on the catch.
Right.
And then the throw to first should have got the base runner out because he didn't tag up.
And see, at first I thought that he hit it and it just bounced off of the hit.
Okay, so it is a double play. They call it a double play. That runner never needed to run to second.
Correct.
He did because, again, they didn't know what was going on.
I think he thought the same thing I did, is that he chopped at it and it bounced and then went up in the air. Yeah, that's a strange play.
Strange way to end the inning, but we end the inning. There we go. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Well, maybe that's our defensive play of the game, just for how weird it was.
Yeah, maybe. My goodness.
All right, we're gonna head to a break and score 1-0. Wolves on top here on the Fan Sports Network.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
AdamsWealthAdvisors.com today.
So the Green Canyon coach still out talking to the umpire, the behind-the-plate umpire, to say, can you please explain to me? And maybe he's trying to just plead his case a little bit. But either way, you know what? It's a double play, right?
Well, and again, coaches, he knows that the call isn't going to change, but what he's looking for is to get that next weird call to go his way, or that next 50-50 call
and maybe
to go his way.
And maybe he just wants to see what did the umpire see? What's his explanation for why they're choosing to call it this way, right? And again, watching the replay, we know what the call is now after watching the replay because it was weird. And yes, the officials called it the right way. The umpires got it right in what was maybe the strangest turn of events I've seen in a baseball game in a long time.
And the shadows are now creeping out there almost to the mound. And again, advantage pitcher. When those shadows, when it comes from the sun into the shadow, it's advantage pitcher because the hitter they have to change their eyes a little bit and pick that ball back up. There's a lot of MLB stadiums that have this, like Dodger Stadium. I know that they'll talk about the shadows and stuff like that, and it's always advantage pitcher. Now, when it gets all into the shadow, then it goes back to kind of an even playing field.
Right. P.D. Soto here to lead off in the bottom of the fourth inning. Hit a pop fly over to second base his last at bat. And the pitch. Outside, ball one. Today's matchup brought to you by Mountain Land Supply. They feature Bryant, Southern Utah's premier heating and cooling systems for your home and commercial property. Bryant, whatever it takes. Strike one. Now facing 1-1, P.D. Soto.
His on-base percentage is .614.
That's insane. Caught him going on that.
Now, the only thing I don't like about that is with the home plate umpire calling that, I just wish they would just automatically just check with the first base umpire.
I agree.
I just like that call, but I think he went as well, but I would just like
Fouled
that
it off his leg.
Other perspective a little bit better.
I agree. So facing a 1-2 count, and that never feels good when you foul one off your leg right there.
No, it does not.
Here's the 1-2. High. When I say high, I mean about a foot over Petey's head.
Yeah, nice play by the catcher to bring that in. Proctor had to really pop up out of his crouch to get that one.
In the pitch. Off the end of the bat. Stays alive at a 2-2. Still no outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Wolves on top 1-0.
And Atkinson, I mean, I know it's the beginning of this inning. There's no outs, but he's only at 43, 44 pitches right now.
Yeah, he's moved through this lineup pretty quick. Another one high. Soto's worked the count full.
Yeah, full count now. Petey Soto Jr. working that. So Atkinson kind of throwing more pitches than he would like.
And you mentioned that Petey Soto's great at getting on base, and this is part of it. He knows the zone, and he can read the zone. He keeps alive this way. Sends this one up high and foul. Looking to maybe make that catch at first, and does. Foul ball doesn't matter. Able to grab it on the fly.
It was still a good at bat. Made Atkinson throw 7 or 8 pitches to him because he fouled off a few. He battled. I know he didn't get the hit, but it was still a good at bat. Atkinson really kind of dealing right now.
Yeah.
For the Wolves.
He's pitching a great game.
Yeah, he really is.
Especially against this team that we know can hit.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
And we have only seen 1 hit so far. His first pitch comes across ball 1.
And this is Ty Maynard, catcher for the Mustangs.
Yeah, for a hitting team, he's walked 2, and he's allowed 1 hit, so only 3 runners on.
Well, I'll tell you what, we have seen some really good pitching performances today.
And got that one for strike 1.
From all the teams.
We really have.
Even on the teams that came up a little short today, Landon Musgrave with the Thunder, only allowed 2 runs to Mountain Crest. And then even in our second game, Digby, that pitch was outside. Digby for
Bear River.
Thank you. Pitched a gem of a game and came up on the losing end 3-2. So even on the losing side today, the pitchers have been we've seen some really good performances.
Foul away. The bunch of the fans trying to get out of the way.
Did you see that lady over there? She's in all green. Obviously, she's here for Green Canyon, but she just shaked with a little bit of fear.
Yeah,
that was funny.
You could hear literal screams coming as the ball found its way over the net and into the crowd.
I'm just glad she wasn't on her phone texting or Instagramming.
Not paying attention.
Yeah.
Have it land 10 feet away from you. That'd be a little scary. The high pitch is now full count.
So Atkinson going back-to-back full counts on Mustang hitters.
We talked about his pitch count being low, but a back-to-back full count, that's not going to do you any favors.
And again, if you're Crimson Cliffs, the sooner you can get him out of the game, the better, because that's a foul ball.
Just foul.
Ooh, foul ball. They already called
it foul, but
Ty, save your energy.
Yeah. And it was foul.
It was absolutely.
It was foul. And now he finally sees, man, it was foul, and I could have found myself on second.
Yeah.
Had it gone 6 inches that way, right?
It was really close, but it was a foul ball. Definitely a good call.
Yeah, it was the correct call. Well, now after he's ran 180 feet, he's got to
catch his
back
breath,
around.
Especially in this higher elevation. We're not used to this high elevation down in southern Utah.
Tack on an extra 2,000 feet above sea level over here. Where are we at here in Provo? I know we're right around 4,000 plus, just a little over 4,000. St. George is right around that 2,000 mark. And the pitch is going to go in a gap, left center gap. It'll be a single. Ty Maynard.
Again, sometimes you just throw the barrel out there and good things happen. We saw that in the previous game with Cruz Seacrest. Just throwing it was a same count, 3-2 count. He just threw the barrel out there, ended up with a double. Ty Maynard kind of did the same thing here, 3-2 count, full count on the senior catcher. He just throws a barrel out there and gets a nice little single.
Shout out to Dusty, our producer over here, giving me the exact level, 4,665 feet above sea level.
4,600. That's what I would have said if I would have guessed.
Yeah.
Those exact
numbers. 4,665, not 64, 65.
We got a good crew.
Starley fouls it away.
Now, Starley's a hitter that Atkinson has to be careful with, because one swing of the bat, and the Wolves could be down 2-1. Brexton with a lot of power. He hits from the right side of the dish. Big power right-handed hitter.
Hit hard over to third. Bob makes the play, throws to first.
Oh, Coleman Bob.
Got it there.
Having a game right now, not just at the plate, but also out in the field, robbing Starley of a single. My goodness.
It lays out, stops it from rolling. The runner advances from first. So now it's a runner on second, 2 outs. And Trey Evans steps up to the plate. High pitch. That speed up runner over there was about halfway to third base before he's like, all right, I'll turn around and go back.
Man.
But some aggressive base running over there. Here's the pitch. Outside.
Got a little cloud cover here because that shade and that sun all disappeared.
Yeah. And it's not really a cloudy day. A few clouds here and there. It's not too bad.
The shade has almost, when it is out there, when the sun does
just
come
covered
out.
The infield?
Yeah, it's just about, it almost to the pitcher's mound. It almost has overtaken the pitcher.
Quick 3-0 count now to Trey Evans. Evans walked his last at-bat and now facing a 3-0, thinking maybe I'm going to get the same here. Now again, his last at-bat was a 4-pitch walk. So far we're at a 3-0 count.
Atkinson, let's see what he does here. If he can battle back and get into this count.
I think Evans just wanted to swing the bat now as he walks over to first.
And you know what? With a hitter like Evans, that's probably not the worst thing in the world, especially when you get down 3-1, just to, throw something that you hope he chases. But
well, in this, for Green Canyon, this actually puts them in a good position because now you have a force out at any base with 2 outs already. You just had a power hitter that you didn't let hit.
Yeah, you got to force it all the bags. So that's good.
It's not the worst thing to have a guy on first in this situation, first and second. And springs up still Barbin. That pitch is low and away for ball number 1.
Atkinson now at 60 pitches.
Yeah, this inning has really bumped that up.
This really has. You're right.
He started this inning around 40. Barbin off the end of the bat. It goes to second. They'll make the play over to first for out number 3.
Yeah, easy play over there by Eborn. Nice little candy hop right up into his glove. A nice little toss over to first to end the inning.
So still scoreless, Crimson Cliffs. They're facing off against Green Canyon Wolves, who have 1 run on the board to lead here as we now head to the top of the 5th when we come back.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Leading off for Green Canyon here to start the top of the 5th inning, Carson Proctor.
Well, one thing that I know, Caden, is that one run doesn't win this game. You know,
no, we're not going to see a 1-0 ball game.
No, I would be shocked if that was the final outcome. Obviously, so would the Mustang fans, the herd, as they call them.
Now facing a 1-0 count here is Proctor.
But yeah, Green Canyon really needing and looking to add on to that.
Grounder to second, throw over to first. Starley at first, grabs on for out number 1. Still Barbin over on second, making the play.
Shortstop, number 34, Suey Jensen.
Brings up Suey Jensen. Flew out to center, his last at bat.
Suey Jensen only batting 200 on the year.
Off the end of the bat, right to second again. Barbin makes the play to first for out number 2.
He was hustling and moving down that line. Actually made it a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Well, and it was a slow roller to second. So by the time it got to Barbin, Suey was most of the way to first.
Yeah.
And now Cooper Finley steps up.
Cooper Finley batting 250 on the year.
We've had 3 pitches, and we faced 2 batters on the third batter now in this inning.
Osborne being very efficient.
Another swing of the bat. This will drop in for a single, maybe a double as it rounds the gap. It'll be a stand-up double for Cooper Finley.
Kind of a bad angle that Fanueloa took. I hope I said that right.
Close enough.
He didn't take a great angle. If you look at this right here, he's running vertical as opposed to running back. And then when you can see the numbers of an outfielder, you just smile as a head coach of the opposing team.
Yeah, if you're the batting team.
Yeah.
You're pretty happy about that.
Yeah, when you can see the numbers on the back of the outfielders, you're smiling as the hitting team.
Micah Eborn now stepping up. Runner on second. First pitch comes across, ball 1.
Eborn takes that. Doesn't want anything that down low. 5 hits for the Wolves, only 2 hits for the number 2 seed and reigning champions Crimson Cliffs Mustangs.
Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Boy, we've had some good baseball games today.
Yeah, again, this is game 3 in our coverage here on the first day of the 4A state playoffs. We broadcasting games from now through till Saturday. They check the runner at second. Barbin couldn't hold on to it, but Soto's able to clean up the mess and make sure that runner doesn't go anywhere.
Finley gets back okay. Evans, definitely a better than average arm out there in center field.
Osborne taking his time on the mound. I wouldn't be surprised to. I didn't say see a timeout taken, but instead the pitch comes. Ball 2. And a lot of times in that situation, the batter's tired of standing in the box. They'll call a timeout. It's 2-1 count, 2 outs, runner on second. Osborne checks over to second, looks back, and the pitch. Outside. 3-1 count.
Outfield playing straight away. Infielders, normal depth. And they're playing straight away as well.
3-1. Looks over at second. Finley runs back to the bag and we'll reset. Again, here in the top of the fifth inning, the Wolves lead 1-0. We've had some really low-scoring ball games today. As this one is low and away, and we'll walk him over to first.
Those 2-out walks, you hope that doesn't come back to haunt you at all.
Number 13, Jacob Peterson.
Brings up now Jacob Peterson. Two outs, force out on any base. And looks like coach will come have a quick conference on the mound.
Well, Peterson's 1 for 1 today, so he's looking to follow that up and go 2 for 2, maybe get an RBI with Finley out there on second base. You guys' trip up here uneventful this morning, Dev or Caden?
Yeah, just about as uneventful as it could be.
That's good.
But that's not always a bad thing, right?
That's too. I was trying to give you guys some text on where the troopers were all hiding.
Yeah, we weren't speeding.
All right. Good. Well, you never know. You know, Devin, that Fan Sports Network truck.
He's got a big target on it with all
move.
The branding.
That's right.
Well, Jarvis Osborne stays out on the mound after a quick conference from the coach. Soto also giving him some words of encouragement during that meeting, and we will play on. 2 outs, 2 runners on, and now facing off against Jacob Peterson, center fielder for the Wolves. Here's the pitch. Swung on, third base. He'll throw to second for the force out. Almost not in time, but he's able to get it there. And that will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning when we come back here on the Fan Sports Network.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you,
so it's the bottom of the fifth inning. The score 1-0. The Wolves lead over the Mustangs. Green Canyon takes the field again here, where Cade Atkinson is pitching a gem of a game.
Yeah, he really is. You know, when you hold this Mustang team to only 2 hits, 0 runs, you know, through 4, now you're going to the bottom of the fifth. That's quite an accomplishment, because this is a good hitting team. Tate Maynard leading off for the Mustangs. But I'm just waiting. And it hasn't come yet. I'm just waiting for a couple of back-to-back doubles or something for this Mustang team, because we've seen it all season long.
We've seen it a million times. This is a team that, again, this is a team that can do what they're doing right now, a couple of goose eggs, right? Or they could do what they've done before, and it's all of a sudden a 10-run ball game, as this one's going to fall in for a single from Tate Maynard.
That's a good way to start off for the Mustangs. Get your leadoff hitter on. Tate Maynard's going to be swapped out for a speed-up runner.
Now, with the runner on first, still no outs here in the bottom of the fifth. This is the first pitch is a single by Maynard. Brings up Fahey Faunalua.
Left fielder, number
Fahey Fonalua.
Fahey.
I just wanted to say it correctly.
Yeah.
So maybe the next time I say it, I'll say it correctly.
I just call him Fahey, honestly.
Okay.
I think most people do.
I like it. I like that.
Just call him Fahey.
Atkinson pitching out of the stretch. Decides to take a little break. Steps off the rubber. He's looking to get a ground ball up the middle.
Yeah, make that double play.
Yeah, that's what he's looking for.
And it's been made multiple times today, if not in this game alone, as this one's fouled away off a bunt.
Coach Abbott going to a little small ball here, trying to move that runner into scoring position.
Umpires having a little bit of a chat with both of the dugouts real quick. Not sure.
I think there was something that was outside of the dugout that they wanted them to just kind of.
I think there was a bat boy that was out
back.
there.
Yeah, that could have been it too.
Just kind of telling him, hey, nobody should be out of the dugout area except for the person on deck.
And boy, these are just such nice facilities here at Larry H. Miller Field.
Yeah, they definitely have a great ballpark here.
My goodness.
Been here since early 2000s. This one's popped up on the bunts, and they got it on a double play.
The one thing that Fahey could not do is pop up a bunt, and that's what he did. What a shame.
Yeah, quick double play. Again, popped up, caught by the pitcher, threw over to first. The runner that was on first was taken off for second, and there's no way he was getting back to tag up.
It's the worst case scenario for the Herd. It is the best case scenario for Green Canyon.
Brings up the top of the lineup, Jager Baldwin. Inside, ball one.
Scoreboard hasn't caught up yet out there at Larry H. Miller Field. They're still showing 0 out and 1 strike.
This one hit into center and makes the play.
Wow, that half inning came to an end very, very quickly with the pop-up bunt double play, and then Jager on the second pitch lining out to the center fielder, Peterson out there.
It was a strange 3 up, 3 down, that's for sure.
It's not one that is, it's not your traditional baseball 3 up, 3 down.
Yeah, especially since there was a single with the first at-bat.
Exactly.
So Crimson Cliffs remain scoreless. Green Canyon still on top, 1-0. Looking to add to that lead when we come back.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bride Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you could still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
cheesesteak
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's.
Across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart. And stay tuned for the AWP Playmaker of the Game.
Top of the order here for the Wolves. Caden Stewart, first base, stepping up. He's done the same thing twice at bat. Grounder to second, thrown over to first for the out. Can he do something a little different here? Maybe he can get on base.
Yeah, he's just been rolling over on those ground balls and pretty made it easy for Steele Barbin down there at second.
That one fouled away off of his leg.
And just to change that up a little bit, if I was him, I'd be looking for something on the outer part of the plate to go after. You know, if anything, just think middle. Just think middle. Send it back where it came from. Don't get overexcited and just roll over it and have an easy ground ball to second base.
Another one fouled away. 0-2 count here to Caden Stewart. It's interesting. I went to high school with someone named Caden Stewart.
Oh,
yeah.
This is not the same one.
This is definitely not the same one. As that guy's probably 28.
He's breaking all the rules.
Yeah. That one bouncing for ball one.
Yeah, he kind of spiked it about a foot in front of the plate. That's all right. You're not supposed to throw a strike on an 0-2 count anyways. Even on a 1-2 count. I don't throw this in the zone.
And this one is fouled away. So Stewart staying strong at a 1-2. And if you're Stewart, that's what you want to do. You know, something like that. It's a little close. Don't let it go by for strike three. He sends this one into a gap. West runs over from center to grab it, make the play over to second, and it will keep the runner at first.
He thought about stretching that into a double. And I was watching where he was and where the ball was. I thought maybe he had a chance, but it's probably a smart decision that he didn't.
Yeah.
But I really thought he had a chance to do it.
Now, they do have a righty warming up over there in the bullpen for Crimson as a meeting at the mound is happening. Maybe they're going to, coach will take the ball away and say, hey, you've pitched a good 5 innings, I should say.
So it looks like Brexton Starley is changing positions as well, and he might go out on the bump.
And maybe that's why they had him playing first, so they could keep the catcher where they're at. Because, again, Brexton Starley is normally a catcher for this Crimson Cliffs team.
And Parker Andrus is going to, I think, make his way to
probably go to first
base.
Parker Andrus a lot of times as DH.
Parker Andrus is a junior.
They actually have Still Barbin up there.
Oh, Still. Okay, so
maybe Brex will
go third.
Go to third, or even come out. Maybe he's put on catcher's gear. Who knows? He stepped aside.
Yeah, because he wouldn't go to second.
Yeah.
I don't think Brexton has the body build for a second. Not saying that he can't do it.
He could, but he might not. Well, let's take a quick 30-second break with this pitching change. We'll return here in just a bit on the Fan Sports Network and KSL.com.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This pitching change brought to you by Nets on Fire. Also bringing us our Region 10 and Region 11 updates for today.
Well, we think we have the defensive changes straightened out. Parker Andrus goes to first. Steele Barbin leaves his position at second base and goes on the bump. Ty Maynard takes off his catching equipment and goes out to second base. Brexton Starley, who was at first, goes into the dugout, puts all of his catching equipment on, and comes out, and he is now the catcher for the Mustangs. So a lot of movement.
Yeah, a lot of defensive shifts. If you're wondering, the outfield stays the same.
Yeah.
PD Soto at shortstop stays the same. And
look at Jager out there in right field, though, still stretching out that shoulder.
And that's good, you know. Try to keep it loose. I'm sure sleeping on it tonight's not going to be fun waking up in the morning, but hopefully the coaching staff can help him keep it loose. And this one's bunted into the dirt.
And I think the Wolves know how important it is to push another run across, and that's why they're
playing small ball here.
Playing small ball, and it's the correct way. I mean, it's kind of baseball 101 with
especially a low-scoring game in the top of the sixth, right?
Absolutely. Runner on and no outs. Get that base runner over in scoring position on second base, and then see what happens after that. He should square up to bunt again. There he goes.
The pitch, the bunt is all again fouled away. Yeah, he's gonna have to look to swing now with an 0-2 count on him, but
now it's
the right idea.
Now you got to try to, when you put the ball into play, you got to put it in play on the right side of the field. So now you got to be a little bit more strategic with your swing now as well. Barbin just lobs it over to Andrus at first.
This is Quincy Matthews up to bat right now as well, facing the 0-2 count.
Matthews batting .276 for the Wolves.
Pitch again, looks to bunt. Sends it down the third base line. Throw to first is there. So they'll get the force out at first, but the runner does advance to second.
Yeah, and I don't think that ball had any chance of going foul either. I think Tate Maynard definitely did the right thing by picking that ball up and throwing the runner out at first.
But it's a smart play by the Wolves. Sacrifice the out for putting a guy in scoring position.
That's what they wanted to do. So
especially with Cade Atkinson and Coleman Bob coming up.
Yeah.
Two of your better hitters.
And again, Atkinson with the old adage, you can help yourself out here, son.
Pitch from Barbin, strike.
As the pitcher of record right now, he can help himself out by putting another run on the board with a base hit.
Now, still Barbin, pitcher. He's also the Crimson Cliffs quarterback that played in the state championship game. Helped lead that team all the way to a state championship game, but not to the championship where they lost to Desert Hills. This one's sent over in the gap. That runner at third's going to go for it. The relay, not there. Another run scores.
Wow, what a big hit by Atkinson. He just found that 3-4 hole over there on the right side of the field. And now got an RBI. Again, helped himself out.
On the replay, you can see he sends it right into that gap. And, second base over there, Maynard was faded a little bit closer to the bag as well. I think part of that was because in case there was the throw to second to try to pick off the runner that was over there from Barbin, but instead it put him out of position for what could have maybe been a play on the ball. And now that brings up Coleman Bob with a runner on first.
Coleman Bob batting .433. He is definitely the leading hitter for these Wolves. The only player, that ball's up, ball one. The only hitter on that team with a batting average over 400, and it's well over 400 being at .433. We've already seen his power today, hitting it to the wall about 397 feet.
Here's the pitch. Low and outside.
You know, it almost wouldn't be a bad thing if you walked him. I mean, maybe just nibble around the corners, around the zone. Maybe you can get some weak contact, but you can't throw one down Broadway and have him barrel it up. It'd almost be a good thing if they did walk him.
And now he's facing a 3-1.
I mean, yes, you do put the next runner in scoring position, but man, this kid can hit.
He definitely can hit.
And you can see Barbin just kind of nibbling on those edges, kind of missing those outside, inside.
Look at the runner over at first. He's back safely. Again, runner on first. Only one out here in the top of the sixth. Green Canyon now leads 2-0. Crimson Cliffs, the defending state champions. Runner goes, and Bob sends this one. It's gone. Wow, a 2-run home run.
Coleman Bob, sir, you are having a game.
He makes the trot around the bases. And it is now a 4-0 ball game.
Wow.
That was a no doubt home run, a bin blaster, blast of the game.
That was over the Coca-Cola logo out there in left field.
The replay, our SNS mechanical replay, he just squared that up right in the middle of the barrel. I don't think I've seen a more textbook swing of the bat and connection for the home run.
What? He barreled that up. That first pitch, ball one. To Proctor. Proctor now has to follow that up.
Now facing a 1-1 count.
Defending champs are on the ropes right now. Taking body blow after body blow.
Pitch away, 2-1.
Down 4-0 here in the top of the 6th. And Green Canyon still only 1 out on the board.
And in there for strike 2. It's a 2-2 count. Proctor is 1 for 2 this ball game. And it's full count.
You know, in game number 2, we saw the Region 10 team come back in the bottom with the walk-off 2-run home run by Ryder Harrison. Mustangs have a little bit bigger hill to climb here, though.
Fouled away, and it goes out of play to stay alive.
And the Wolves still aren't done here. Again, only 1 out here.
Yeah, 1 out.
In the top of the 6th.
Three runs have scored this inning. And the pitch right back at the pitcher. It's going to hit the gap. It'll be a base hit for Carson Proctor. A great 6th inning here from Green Canyon.
It really is. They have really, their confidence, and that's the thing too, baseball is such a confident sport. When you feel good about stepping into that box and you're feeling confident, that ball just becomes a little bit bigger, and those gaps and those holes just get a little bit bigger as well. And that's how Green Canyon is really swinging it right now. They are very confident squad right now.
Brings up Sui Jensen. Runner goes. And with the ball in the dirt, he'll get there. The throwdown from Starley was actually fairly close for the ball being away.
And I got to think this Crimson crowd, the team, the coaches, I got to think they're probably in a little bit state of shock right now.
Yeah.
Because again, they're the reigning champions. They're the number 2 seed. But we talked about this at the beginning of the game. Me especially, I kind of thought that they were probably the best team.
Mm-hmm.
But here they are. They're down 4-0.
And now facing a runner on second.
And not saying that
2-0 count.
And not saying that you can't go down to that lower bracket, the losers bracket, and come back. And they've got the pitching staff to do it. If anybody can do it, it is them.
Right.
But that's not where you want to be.
Not at all. Pitch from Barbin. Just outside zone, 3-0 count. Barbin working out of the stretch on the 3-0. Swung on and missed.
Good swing, though.
I don't swing at a 3-0, though.
No, you don't.
I'm surprised at that.
I kind of am, too. And that was down in the zone. That could have been ball 4 if he doesn't swing at it. But I'm with you. Yeah, 3-0, you've got a red light. Unless you're hitting 700 and above, it's a red light.
Pitch. Swung on and missed. Throw down to second. He's back safe.
And again, I don't swing at that one either.
That was outside the zone,
too. A 3-1 count. You're looking for your perfect pitch. And I can promise you that his perfect pitch is not 3 inches, 4 inches off the plate of the outside corner.
Outside. Agreed. So now full count, 1 out, runner on second. Here's the pitch, and it's away.
Well, it didn't end up costing him, but I think if I'm the coach there, when he comes back in, I do put my arm around him and I talk to him a little bit about those
to say,
swings.
Hey, you probably could have walked 2 pitches earlier.
Yes.
And if Crimson does lose this game, they'd be fighting through the loser's side of the bracket to get back on top here.
And then you've got to burn your aces. You've got to go Jaden Ross. You've got to go Bo Sampson.
Aaron Morris.
And then they're not available to you in those Friday, Saturday matchups if you get there.
Yeah. Now, they'll definitely use one of them tomorrow.
Yes.
And
you have to now.
You have to use them Tuesday, Wednesday so that they can be available Friday, Saturdays. If Barbin gets one across for a pitch or for strike one.
Absolutely. If they don't come back and win this game, absolutely you burn them. You have to burn one of them tomorrow. And then, like you said, they'll be back ready for a Friday or Saturday matchup.
Yep.
Saturday matchup if they pitch tomorrow. And if they go over that pitch count.
0-1 makes it an 0-2. Swing and a miss.
Maybe Friday if you can pull them out before the 80 pitches. But, yeah, this is a little bit of a shocker right now. Again, I mentioned a little bit earlier, that the Mustangs and the herd and everybody, a little bit of a state of shock. I'm a little bit of state of shock. This is not what I was expecting.
Yeah, and Green Canyon putting on a show, too.
They really are. Coleman Bob in particular. He is having a game right now. Not only with the double and the 2-run shot, but that diving play at third base that he made that kind of put an end to an inning and a threat that the Mustangs were doing.
0-2 count, runners on first and second, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The pitch hit right back to the pitcher. It's fielded at second. Soto with 1 and not there for the double play. They're able to get 1 out.
Finley hustling down the line, beats out that double play throw to first. So it's only going to be 2 outs now. Runners on first and third, 4-0. Green Canyon over Crimson Cliffs right now. We're still in the top of the 6th. Mustangs can put even more on the board.
Second baseman, number 10, Micah Eborn.
Micah Eborn now stepping up.
Eborn walked his last at-bat.
Batting .242 on the year.
And he's got 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Throw down back to first. He's there.
Stardy has a really good whip throw down to first base.
The Wolves have just broken it open here in the 6th. 3 runs in this inning alone, making it a 4-0 ball game on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Mike Eborn takes that for ball 2.
I got to tell you, if this is not perfect baseball weather, I do not know what is.
Excuse me, they make it a 1-1 count.
This is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, this is amazing. The wind is
baseball weather.
Nearly stopped. Outside. So right now, Crimson Cliffs kind of in damage control situation where they're down by 4. It's the top of the 6th. They have 2 more innings where they can try to find their way back into this one. That one finds its way across the plate.
Just caught the outside corner. Nice pitch, nice location by Barbin.
Count is even at 2. Barbin takes a look to first. Gets in the stretch. And the pitch. Got him looking.
Nasty.
So that will end it here in the top of the 6th, but not after 3 runs come across, making it 4-0. Wolves lead over the Mustangs.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News
Sell your
today.
current home at fair price or just answer your questions. For everything in real estate, livingstgeorge.com.
Well, the Wolves have a fantastic top of the 6th inning. 3 runs added. It's 4-0. Now we reach the bottom of the 6th where Tyler West will lead things off for the Mustangs. This is the inning they have to come in here and score a couple runs here, Mark.
They do. You don't want to be chasing 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th. 4 runs or more. I mean, who knows? Green Canyon could put more on the top of the 7th. So, yeah, you want to get 2 or 3 here. You know, in a great case scenario, you get them all back, but, you know, maybe not be too greedy. If you got to be looking to get 2 or 3. Only be chasing 1 run in the bottom of the 7th if Green Canyon doesn't score in the top of the 7th.
Cade Atkinson remains on the mound, and West looking a bunt. At this point, they're just trying to get on base.
Yeah, West batting .417 on the year. And, yeah, you're right. They're just trying to get some traffic out there on the base paths.
Green Canyon taking a little bit to those batting averages. You know, they're taking a little bit off.
Corners now pulled in. They're right on the edge of the grass and the dirt. And when I say dirt, this is all a turf field, but there is a dirt-colored turf out there. So, just a beautiful facility. I just can't get over it.
Well, hit over the outstretched glove of the shortstop, and it's going to be a single.
Yeah, Jensen reached out for it, couldn't quite bring it in.
Brings up Petey Soto, 0 for 2 today.
Again, that's what you needed as a Mustang. You needed to get that leadoff hitter on the base paths. Get Atkinson throwing some stress pitches. Maybe he'll leave one out over the plate. And, you know, Petey Soto Jr. can put it over. Brexton Starley is a gap hitter and a home run hitter.
First pitch is the ball. We talk about a lot that when that runner gets on first, the first guy up to bat, whenever he gets on first base, there's a good chance that they will make it back around to score. Not always the case, right? As he dives back over to first. Pitch. They look back on the back pick, but it's not there. The count's 2-0.
I thought he called that a strike. Yeah, he did. It's 1-1.
Okay, I checked that board up there.
Yeah, we've got the window open here in the press box, and I actually heard the umpire actually call out strike, even with the headset on.
Soto sends this one for a ride into left field, getting back on it and making the play.
Just missed it.
It's Boston Stewart.
Just missed it. Yeah, Stewart was able. That ball was so high, he was able to camp underneath it out there in deep left field. Now Ty Maynard stepping up.
Number 28, Ty Maynard.
Again, Ty Maynard batting .431. So many hitters batting over .400 on this Mustang team. And only one on Green Canyon. And Coleman Bob is that one, and he is having one heck of a game.
He is.
defensively and most importantly offensively.
Yeah.
Just killing the ball.
Here's the pitch. Outside. So 1 out. Count is 1-0 with 1 runner on. Bottom of the 6th inning.
Atkinson at 74 pitches.
Another outside pitch.
Not quite as sharp as he was in the first 4 innings. Looks like he's, I don't want to say he's laboring yet, but he's just not as sharp as he was those first 4 innings.
Right. Again, they look back to Tyler West on first. They're not comfortable with how far Tyler West is leading off, and they keep checking him over there at first, make sure that he stays closer to the bag, but he's saying, nah, you know what, I'm going to lead off anyways. Here's the pitch. Well hit left center field, perfect down in the gap. Takes a bounce, bounces off the wall. That's going to send a run home. And a stand-up double, an RBI double for Ty Maynard.
Yeah, that is definitely something that we have been waiting for in this game. Again, only because we've seen it time and time again down in St. George with this Crimson Cliffs Mustangs lineup. And now Atkinson not out of the woods yet. Now you got big Brexton Starley standing into the batter's box.
Starley has power.
He has, I think, 7 dingers on the year. Batting around 440 at the start of this game.
And he sends one out to center, going back on it, makes the play. The runner tags from second. He'll advance to third easily.
Boy, well hit by Starley. It just was right at the center fielder. Again, that wasn't a fly out. That was a line out. Now Atkinson looking to leave Maynard out there on third. Evans looking to drive him in.
Evans finally taking the swing of a bat. This is his 3rd at-bat, and that's the first time he's swung. He had 8 pitches thrown to him, all of them balls. He's been on base every single at-bat with a walk. And now facing a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Getting outside.
Off speed, just, left that outside.
Here's the 2-1. High. I like to see that catcher try to frame those up a little bit, though. He's just throwing them right back to the pitcher a little fast.
Quick,
and when you know that happens, the catcher's thinking that was outside. You know, that was not in the zone.
Kind of makes it an easy call for the umpire.
Off the end of the bat, full count now for Starley. Or excuse me, for Trey Evans.
Mustangs in a dogfight here, down 4-1, bottom of the 6th, 2 out, runner on third. Atkinson deals
and walks him
for the 3rd. Is this the 3rd walk today for Evans?
Yep, 3rd walk in a row.
Wow.
Well, Evans' on base percentage is 100%. But he's 0 for 0 today. A little bit of a meeting going on the mound. And right now, this will bring up the tying run, the potential tying run, and still Barbin will come up to
No, actually, they're going to sub him out for McKay Wright.
Oh, they will.
Number 3, McKay Wright, is actually going to step into the batter's box. Take his hacks at Atkinson. McKay is a talented hitter as well. batting .450. Seems like every Mustang hitter is batting .430, .450, .460. Except for if you're Petey Soto Jr., then you're batting .500.
Yeah.
It's incredible how good these hitters are.
It is impressive.
But they are down right now to the Green Canyon Wolves, 4-1.
A speed-up runner coming in.
Bottom of the 6th. Mustangs looking to put another one on the board, so they're not chasing as many as they go into the 7th inning. But there's 2 outs. Mustang team can put several runs on the board this inning. They're such good hitters.
First pitch in there, strike one. Now 2 outs. If you can hold this inning to 1 run, and this has been a decent inning from the Mustangs, Green Canyon will find themselves in a good spot head to the 7th inning.
Now, I believe this is correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. McKay Wright hit 2 home runs in 1 inning.
That is correct, as he sends this one into center, center field.
It's down.
Oh! Makes the catch. Oh, he dropped it.
Wait.
He dropped it.
The umpire still has the out call here.
He did say it was out.
They're saying it's on the transfer.
Can we watch that replay? Because I guarantee Crimson's going to fight this.
Abbott's coming out right now. Let's get this replay.
Do we have that replay?
Here we go. Thank you, Dusty. Pulling
the shot out
up
into center.
Let's watch this as he rolls over. He does.
He caught it, but as he rolls twice, he loses it.
He had it, and he slid. Can we watch that one more time, Dusty?
I don't think they're overturning the call.
Watch this here.
I really don't think they would overturn this
he
call.
He slides with the ball as he rolls over.
Yeah, and he does lose it out of the glove. It was not on the transfer, but he held on to it. Does he hold on to it long enough?
I think that's the question.
I think he does. I don't think they overturned that call.
My goodness. What we have had some really crazy.
This game alone has been insanity with some of these calls.
Now, Green Canyon, they've come off the field, and their leadoff hitter already has his helmet on in the batting circle, in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, they're ready to rock and roll.
And it looks like
Crimson's going to go take the field. So,
yeah, Crimson's taking the field.
Let's take our break in between the top of the 6th the bottom of the 6th to the top of the 7th, and we'll be back with more here on the Fan Sports Network.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains away. Member FDIC, equal housing.
Value is Freddy's.
Well, we're still debating up here in the broadcast booth if that was a catch or not. Let's run that replay one more time. And again, it was called a catch, but the debate here is, again, it's up for debate. Was this actually a catch? He catches it. He rolls twice on the second roll, loses it.
Ball comes out right there.
Right there, loses it.
And it was as he was going to show that he had the ball is when the ball came out.
Right.
So, and again, kind of like a wide receiver in football, you have to keep possession all the way through the play. I believe that's how it is in baseball as well. But, hey, it was called an out. And now
this one hit into the gap. It'll be a single for Jakin Peterson.
Wow, what
Now, as we mentioned, this one, that's a debatable call. We're hearing it both ways. I originally had said, hey, I think that's a catch. It's a little up to interpretation, maybe. I don't know. But if you call that not a catch, this is a ball game. It's a one-run ball game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stewart intending to bunt and pulls back.
And again, I don't know how the rule is written, especially for high school ball, with that play. I would assume, again, this is just me assuming, I would assume that you have to continue the roll, kind of like a wide receiver catching the ball on the sideline. When you get tackled out of bounds, you have to maintain possession and get up with the ball. I would think it's the same for here, but again, I don't know exactly how that rule is written for high school.
I don't know either. Such an interesting game. Well, we had that defensive play where there's a runner on first, Coleman bobs up. He swings at one that bounced on the ground. It does hit the bat and pops into the air. Osborne catches it, throws it to first, where the runner did not tag up.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's complaining, saying, hey, well, that ball hit the ground first. Well, it doesn't matter. If it hits the bat, it hits the bat, right?
Yeah.
It's into play. And again, another one of those weird scenarios. One has gone with the Mustangs, and now this one has gone with the Wolves. This is one of those where you really hope the umpires have studied up on the rule book. And a timeout taken.
Such a strange game so far. My goodness.
Yeah, definitely a strange game.
If the Mustangs can...
Runner goes, thinks about going, comes back.
If the Mustangs can come back and win this game, it'll be for naught. Like that play won't even be talked about. But if they don't and they end up losing this game, that play will be talked about.
100%, yeah. That was, again, one of those that it determines a game. Or potentially can determine a game as that pitch comes across for strike two. It's kind of 2-2 now. Runner on first. No outs here in the top of the seventh.
I'm hoping that one of my umpire friends is searching that rule right now and they can send it to me. And you know who you are.
This one hit into left field. Caught.
Holder, number 37,
Quincy Matthews steps up to the plate.
I'll tell you what, if it remains the same score here, going to the bottom of the seventh, Mustangs chasing 3.
They need at least 3.
They kind of went through the heart of their batting order. Not that the bottom half, they only bat 390, 400.
A bunt laid down, throw to first. It's there, but the runner advances to second. But now 2 outs on the board.
The tail end of the Mustang lineup is usually the heart of everybody else's lineup. So not too big of a deal there, but again, they have gone through their 450 and 700 and 500 hitters.
Cade Atkinson now steps up. Shout out to Buck Brand Beef, sponsor of our Batter's Box, homegrown beef in Kanab, Utah.
Me and Dev are thinking about ordering a side of beef and splitting it. You want to get in on that?
You guys gonna split a cow?
You want to get in on that?
Maybe.
Grass-fed.
Yeah, send an email, buckbrand@gmail.com. You can let them know, hey, I'm looking to stock up that freezer.
I'll tell you what, the Mustangs definitely want to get Atkinson here. They don't want anything to do with Coleman Bob on deck here in the top of the 7th. Again, Mustangs down 4-1.
You want to close this one out before Coleman Bob has a chance to step up to the plate. He's already hit 2 shots.
Yeah, one of them cleared the fence in left field for a 2-run dinger.
That could have cleared the fence in center. That one went on a ride. A balk is called. That will advance the runner to third.
No damage really done on that. I mean, no, you don't want to give him a free base, but no damage done. It's not like he was at third and then balked in a run. But now a pass ball comes into play.
Yeah.
That would be the downside of moving him from second to third.
Here's the 1-0. Outside, ball 2.
You've really, as a pitcher, as Barbin, you've really got to trust your catcher, because you're going to have to throw an off-speed pitch during this at-bat at some point. And if you spike one, you got to have trust in your catcher to block that.
Sends it outside for ball 3. Runner on third, 3-0 count. Still Barbin on the mound, just looking to get something across the plate here. And the pitch, he got it in there. 3-1.
Pitch. Oh, got it.
And got it there. Full count.
Strike 2. I thought that was strike 3. I was like,
nope,
he got him. Great pitch by Barbin on the outside part of the plate.
Strike here would wrap up the inning. Instead. Oh, and he got Barbin hit. Line drive.
I think it hit his cleat. I'm hoping it hit his cleat. I hope it didn't hit his ankle.
Oh, that did not look good.
Can we get a replay on that, Dusty?
The run will come around to score.
I think it got his cleat by the sound of it. I hope that sound was not his ankle.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's take a look at it here.
Here's a replay. Oh, it hit him in the leg, but then it bounced up, and
I think it got his heel.
I think it hit his heel, but then it bounced up and hit him in the backside. It looked like, and
what a shot!
So kind of a double whammy there. That is not good for Still Barbin, but he's trying to walk it off. He's going to be tough here.
And the Wolves, but during all that chaos, the Wolves put another run on the board.
Yep. Barbin takes a big old deep breath, big old sigh, and he'll step back up on the rubber and try again. And that does extend the lead now, 5-1. The Wolves stay on top and add another base runner over to first.
The umpire's gonna give him a couple of warm-up pitches just to make sure he's okay. Looks like he's okay from here.
Yeah, I think it was more the shock of it all.
I think it stung for a minute, though.
It had to have, yeah.
I don't know if it was just shock. I think it stung for a minute.
I mean, I'm definitely not saying it felt good, that's for sure.
No, man, what? And now they have to face Coleman Bob. They didn't want to, but Atkinson, man, sends it back where it came from, and Barbin took it off his foot. The Wolf runner scored. So, again, they put one on the board here in the top of the 7th. Up 5-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Mustangs down in this game, if you're just joining us.
First pitch outside to Coleman Bob. Just a reminder, 2-run home run from Coleman Bob, his last at bat. Barbin with the pitch. Low. It's ball 2. The pitch inside. now facing a 3-0 count.
Now, there is a little window of the sun that is right in the pitcher's face.
You're not joking.
That is very unfortunate and can't be that easy to do, to deal with.
It's coming right through. As you mentioned, there's a window right there. It's the tunnel under the bleachers. He pitches that one in for a strike.
I mean, he is going from the shade to the sun to the shade. And you can tell it's affecting him. And look how he's putting his head down, having his cap.
He's ducking that brim of his hat right there to just try to block it out as much as possible. And he got the strike call, so it's a full count. They check the runner down at first, and he's back safe.
And Colvin Bob now.
Last time he was facing a full count, he sent one over the wall. So
full count here. Barbin does not want deja vu to happen. But it kind of feels like it. 3-2 count, 2 outs. Yikes.
Barbin taking a long time looking at that runner at first.
Steele, you need to throw your best pitch right now.
Runner goes, and it's fouled away. Which on a 3-2 count with 2 outs, that runner's going on no matter what, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's right as Barbin starts to home plate. He's in motion. He's going. He's not being held on by Parker Andrus. Defense playing straight away.
The pitch. High.
Maybe not the worst thing in the world. If you're a Mustang or Steele Barbin.
Yeah, I mean, that does put Carson Proctor up to bat. He singled his last at bat. He's 2 for 3.
He's having a good game. 11 hits for the Wolves of Green Canyon. 6 hits for the Mustangs of Crimson Cliffs. Mustangs down 5-1 here. Bottom of the 7th. Or no, top of the 7th. I apologize. 2 outs.
They've been holding on to 2 outs for a while.
Outfielders having to deal with that sun.
Yeah, especially out there in center field right now.
Both
high pitch.
Both Jager and Trey Evans in right field and center field really kind of shielding their eyes with their gloves.
Yeah, this third ball game of the day has turned out to be a tough one, just if anything, for the elements of the sun.
Yeah.
2-0 now is the count to Carson Proctor.
Another big one coming up next. Dixie versus Ridgeline. Here in the nightcap of our Monday night play here up here at Larry H. Miller Field.
Timeout taken as Brex Starley visits with Barbin at the mound. 2 outs. It's count of 2-0. Runners on first and second.
Proctor looking to extend the lead a little bit here. Again, 5-1 lead for Green Canyon over Crimson Cliffs right now. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Here's the pitch.
Swung on and missed. 2-1. And again, still Barbin right now. He's maybe about 5 minutes away from being in the shade again, but he's still looking right down the barrel of the sun.
That is so unfortunate that it's right there.
And the pitch. Outside, 3-1 count.
Good location.
A little low, a little outside.
I like that better with a 3-2 count or even a 2-2 count. I like that location. Not a 3-2 count, but definitely a 2-2 count. That's a great location pitch.
Timeout goes to the batter. Now, updates from earlier today as Snow Canyon will move on in the winners category. Mountain Crest also will move on. Those two will face off against each other tomorrow. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Full count now for Carson Proctor. Now, Bear River and Desert Hills will also match up. That'll be our first game tomorrow, 12:30, right here on the Fan Sports Network and KSLSports.com.
Runners will be in motion here.
Barbin will take a step back and reset.
So I got to think any little single will score Atkinson.
Yeah, this has been a long ball game here. As we're fast approaching 8 o'clock, which is the time that should have started off the last game. We started this game on time. This one's popped up in foul territory. Starley running back on it. Makes the grab against the wall.
Brexton Starley. Hello, sir. Nice catch.
That is definitely on the board as a Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game. One of our contenders for the night.
Definitely one of the tougher catches. We'll watch it here on our replay. Well,
maybe.
We tried.
We'll see if we can get that queued up coming out of the break. Right now the score 5-1. Green Canyon leads. Heading to the bottom of the 7th.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Tune for the AWP Playmaker of the game.
So Crimson Cliffs, if they want a chance, they have to score at least 4 runs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The score is 5-1. Here's that replay from... Oh, this is one of the earlier replays.
Oh, that was the...
There we go. Here's that Starley catch up against the wall.
Oh, that's beautiful.
On our SNS Mechanical replay.
I'll tell you what, you just don't know how difficult that is, because that ball goes up and it comes back into the field of play. Everything goes back into the diamond. It is such a strange phenomenon how that ball does that.
Yeah.
Tough play by Stardy. Made it look somewhat easy, but that's not an easy play. Hey, Green Canyon only 3 outs away of facing the winner of Dixie Ridgeline.
Yeah, that's true. And staying on the mound, Cade Atkinson. He's only had 85 pitches through 6 innings into the 7th now, which is really solid for a pitch count. And now this puts Green Canyon in a situation where you don't necessarily have to use a reliever, and you can save some pitchers. That's phenomenal for Green Canyon.
Atkinson has really just dealt a great game today. Really only 1 inning where he threw, 20-plus pitches. But other than that, it's been 12, 15 pitches every inning.
Oh, losing the bat there was Tate Maynard. He rubs his hands on his pants, a little extra moisture.
Tate goes old school with no gloves. That's the problem with playing on a turf field is normally some of those guys that don't do the gloves, they rub it in the dirt to get a little track, get a little grip, but there's no dirt down there. This is all turf. Beautiful field here at Larry H. Miller Field on the campus of BYU.
Here's the pitch. Inside. Makes the count even at 1. Tate Maynard's last at-bat, he singled.
Mustangs would. That pitch outside. Mustangs would love to get the leadoff hitter on first base or on the base path for sure. They need a lot of base runners. 3-1 the count.
Yeah, they do.
To Maynard. Again, we're in the bottom of the 7th, 5-1, Green Canyon over Crimson Cliffs right now. 3 more outs.
Pitch is in there, full count.
3 more outs for the Mustangs to either advance and take on the winner of Dixie Ridgeline, come back, or 3 more outs and Green Canyon will face the winner of Dixie Ridgeline.
Full count leads to a walk.
Oh, baseball 101. Don't lead off with a walk if you're the defensive team.
Brings up Fahey Fonalua.
More times than not, that runner scores. I think we looked that up one time. I think it was like high 70s or low 80s.
I want to say it was around 70%.
Yeah, that runner.
And hey, you know what? There was a single from Tyler West to start the inning in the 6th inning, and he came around to score. Yeah. So when that leadoff batter gets on first base with no outs.
But again, I'm okay if they earn it. I don't like to give those free passes.
Pitch is high, nearly away from the catcher, but he holds on enough to keep that runner from advancing.
But 1 run is not what the Mustangs need. They need 4.
Here's the pitch. It's popped up, sent in to center, and the play will be made for out number 1 of the inning. Brings up Jager Baldwin.
Number 5, Jager Baldwin.
Baldwin's 1 of 2. Here's the pitch. Just high for ball 1. Baldwin, who's been favoring that left shoulder a little bit. When he got that single, he found his way over to first base. Even on first base, he was still holding it a little gingerly after getting that swing. Second pitch high. It's ball 2. And again, the Mustangs are facing a difficult uphill battle right now where it's 5-1. They check that runner at first. They have to get at least 4 on the board if they want a chance at tying this up and sending it to extra innings. If not, Green Canyon moves on, and they'll face the winner of Ridgeline and Dixie coming up next here on our 4th game of the day. Baldwin back in the box, ready to face the 2-0. Inside, it's 3-0.
Well, we have kind of gotten clarification on that play, that catch, no catch. And according to the rule, the way it's written, it is no catch.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. And again, but these umpires, they have such a tough job to make that, to process everything in their mind so quickly and to get it, to get it correct every time it's a tall task. But the problem is that was such an important part of the game.
Baldwin walks, and now 2 runners on.
And again, if the Mustangs can come back and win this game, that play won't be spoken of. If they don't, that play will be spoken of.
Yeah. And I believe the rule is basically he has to hold on to the catch through his momentum.
Yeah,
correct?
So it was sent to me. And
by the way, a quick meeting on the mound
while
we
break
here. Down this rule.
So the catch of a fly ball by a fielder is not completed until the continuing action of the catch is completed. A fielder who catches a ball and then runs into a wall or another player and drops the ball has not made a catch. A fielder at full speed who catches a ball and whose initial momentum carries the fielder several more yards after which the ball drops from the fielder's glove has not made a catch. And I think that would be very similar to running into a wall when you roll over. I mean, I think it's just like a wide receiver in the NFL. You know, you make that catch on the sideline and you're tackled out of bounds. You have to come up with possession of the ball. So it sounds very similar, kind of what we thought.
Yeah.
But again, umpiring, this is why I will never do it. Umpiring is it is so difficult to do.
Right.
And thank these men for coming out and doing it for our kids. That's all I got to say.
I agree. Runners on first and second. This is fouled away by Tyler West. This is the second time this inning where the throw back to the pitcher is not on target. I'm curious if Green Canyon's doing it to try to get some guys moving, or if it's just genuinely they just haven't got back to the pitcher.
Right.
It's just kind of strange that it's happened twice in one inning. Looking to bunt. Throw down to second. Safe. Ooh, and it was close. It was close. So Tyler West now facing an 0-2 count. With one out, runners on first and second. This is a position that you probably didn't want to be in if you're the Mustangs. This is an 0-2 count. Being down by 4 in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, one away.
Here's the pitch. Fouls it off down the first base line. Got ahead of that breaking ball. Stays at an 0-2 count.
Now Evans is going to have to be kind of a defensive hitter here.
And Tyler West, one of these guys that really likes to crowd that plate. He pops this one up. It's in foul territory, but they can get to it.
Oh.
And Coleman Bob does get there, and he makes the grab.
That was going to be
could have been fair
territory, Caden.
It kind of curved his way back around.
Wow. And again, what a great play by Coleman Bob. That is not easy. He caught that Willie Mays style over his shoulder. My goodness, Coleman Bob is having a game.
And now that puts 2 outs on the board. The score's still 5-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Our longest ball game of the day, that's for sure. Soto looks at the first one, ball one.
Yeah, just to describe that last catch by Coleman Bob. So he's playing third base. It was a little blooper over him. So the shortstop is going out to the line to make that catch. The left fielder is charging in, and Coleman Bob just kind of puts his glove out and he catches it over his shoulder as he's running out as well. Unbelievable. And again, both of us thought it was going to be in foul territory, so it didn't really matter if he was going to make the catch or not.
It started out looking like it was foul, but he caught it in fair territory.
Yeah, and I think that would have been definitely would have been a hit.
Here's the pitch. Got it in there. Strike one, 1-1 count.
Petey Soto Jr. just missed one last at bat. He kind of just a long fly out, just missed it.
Caught the outside edge of the zone, strike 2. One more strike and it's ball game.
Now he's down 1-2. Petey Soto Jr. just looking to extend this game any way that he can to get the big hitters coming up behind him as well. Starting with Brexton Starley.
And the pitch in the dirt.
He bounced that one. Trying to get it to Chase.
And this is a nerve-wracking situation right now. If you're in the batter's box, Petey Soto up there trying to stay calm and collected. Now with a 2-2 count, knowing that one missed swing here could end the ball game. Send them down to the loser side of the bracket.
Deuces are wild, Caden. 2 on, 2 out.
Hit over to second base, the throw over to first. It's there, and that is the ball game.
Wow. Green Canyon with the upset win over the reigning champions, the number 2 seed in this bracket, in this tournament, and now they're going to have to come up through the bottom part of the bracket, the loser's bracket, and not saying that it can't be done. Again, if there's any team that can do it, it would be this Crimson Cliffs Mustangs team, but it makes that task so much more difficult to take home the hardware.
Let's take a 60-second break. When we come back, we're getting into the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. Stick around with us here on the Fan Sports Network and KSLSports.com.